He's more known for the Crom, I would say, over the course of the game's lifespan, but he's using Roy more and more as the game goes on. So let's put it against Oryon's Wolf and see who's going to win out of Finland and France.
Yeah, and we're going to see a bunch of PS2, I think, because both of the characters do really well on this stage. It's a big stage, but both of the characters are really fast. They're really cool. They're really good at close combat, but they were spacing too much at the beginning. I was expecting a bit more of an explosive star. Oryon barely managed to get back, and right now it's looking bad for Oryon, who was being overwhelmed by Lancelot's tools.
Yeah, totally. They are just jostling for position right now, getting a grab. They were both running towards each other, and Oryon just picked the perfect moment to pull the trigger on that one. Meanwhile, Lancelot never going to be able to do too much with a throw. This is Roy. This is the cards you are dealt with at the end of the day. And that card you were dealt with is jab, leading into back air. So many characters will be envious of that trick, and Lancelot will use it to take the first stop.
Yeah, only 100, but that's going to be probably enough. Yeah, the Roy and capable of getting back. One of the main weaknesses of the Fire Emblem character is actually their recovery, and Oryon exploited that pretty well, getting the first stock immediately. That can be a game changer.
Yeah, it's so funny to think that Crom would have had the extra height if he was in that same position, but I'm sure they both would have found different ways to die in that position. Nevertheless, Oryon with a slight lead, but doing forward airs on shield, and Wolf's forward air is known for being so safe. But if you do it from somebody who's stood right below you in shield, you can still find a way to get punished. And Lancelot now reclaims the lead from that.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it just like every time. They're back and forth. They're just switching leads and going really deep. Not being enough. Oryon SDing, I think.
Yeah.
I think he
near
could
enough.
it back.
It was a little bit forced, but we've seen both of these characters now, both Roy and Wolf, incredibly good characters, but recovery distance is not their specialty, and they've both found a way to die to it at this stage.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job at keeping pressure. Both of them are just on their other faces. But this is what you do in this matchup, right? As well, you want to be close or really far so you can blast her and force different approaches. But as Roy, you just want to be on the other face, and they just accepted that fate, and they just are at it. Holy cow! Okay.
Yeah, that will certainly do it. I was building up to say that when you have two characters who can't go that deep off stage, just have a scrap on the stage, right? And the scrap that they had in that particular moment was a dancing blade at ledge. Not dancing, double-edge dance, you know? Marth and Roy's moves, they actually got different names.
I don't know anything about fire.
Well, the double-edge dance at ledge will kill at any percent, but it also most certainly did kill at 130. So Lancelot takes game one, being rewarded for picking Roy. You know, Crom might not necessarily have had such success in that position. Oryon will stick to the Wolf. I don't feel like this is one where we ever need to see the Dr. Mario, because how can you, what would the advantage be? You want to go for those off-stage tornadoes that,
I think I'll be shield.
That would be one.
That would be probably the only one. Oh, well, you have a projectile that is kind of decent as Dr. Mario, but this is not what we're seeing. We're seeing a Wolf against Roy. We're going to go to Battlefield, a good stage potentially for a Wolf, and right now, Roy is not able to get any hits. Oryon playing a little bit more of a patient game right now.
Yep, just happy to sit underneath those platforms. Oryon knowing it's on me to get a game, because he was, for many stages, winning that game, and then Lancelot just kind of took it very unexpectedly. But wow, from a ledge situation, hold on, Oryon. But at the end of the day, Wolf couldn't go too far off stage to press the issue. Just a shame for him.
Yeah, it's a shame he doesn't have like a Rob's recovery. If not, the character would have been broken.
What character in the game wouldn't want Rob's recovery?
Rob.
True.
He has it, so he doesn't want it. As for now, Roy is suffering. Oryon is doing a great job of pressuring Lancelot. Lancelot incapable of getting onto center stage. Oryon being really good at it. The shield getting smaller, but not enough. Let's see if Lancelot's capable of getting back the recovery being enough, and the dancing blade ish.
Roy's range, it's not the highest out of all the sword fighters, but you're still fighting a character who doesn't have one. Use that side B to push the range to its absolute maximum and fight through the close range hitboxes that Wolf was throwing out. Finally, that dash attack is going to catch Lancelot on his retreat to the other side of the stage. But Oryon, it's not a comfy lead unless you can get the Wolf combos pristine, and these are looking excellent right now. Up throw into an air dodge from Lancelot, getting out of position. There was nothing true, but he will go all the way off. The landing there is going to take another stock from Lancelot. Good gravy.
One stop perfectly what he was needed to the double dash attack to throw him off stage, and then the Nair just forcing Royce to go. He's gonna search for it again. He would have been game, and now Lancelot is overwhelmed by Oryon.
Yeah, Oryon just accepts.
Okay.
That it's time for a 3-stock. Oryon claiming that one up. Lancelot did so well to win game 1 out of nowhere, but Oryon was like, you know what? I can win this now. Have a 3-stock. Good grief, Oryon setting the tone and now saying to Lancelot, do you want to try Chrom? Do you want to try Roy? Do you want to just change the playstyle? Because that was all mine.
What a performance by the French player. Just after losing game 1, he was like, I need to make a statement. And what a statement he did, just forcing Roy off stage, and it's guarding it perfectly twice to get the 3-stock. Let's see what Lancelot is capable of doing. He needs to change something. The issue is, what are you going to change against a player that has beaten you so hard on game 2? You need to change so many things. It's not going to be the character what he changes, but probably we'll see a little bit of a switch in his playstyle.
Yep, so we will see how it pans out. We're going back to small battlefield again, saying the stage wasn't the issue by any means. Let's just get right in there with melee-based attacks. Roy is not holding back whatsoever and catching the jump from Oryon as well, but down tilt once again managing to trip at 0. I don't think that's guaranteed from Wolf, but on both stocks now, Oryon's managed to make that work.
Wow, the early recovery by Lancelot, barely snapping the ledge at the end of the recovery. Oryon was pretty sure of getting that stock, but Lancelot right now is suffering so much. Oryon is just doing what he needs to, and the X-Flash from the by Oryon is enough, of course. The Wolf has strong fists.
Totally, but jab to back air. Roy's definitely got that strength all day long, just barely not killing. It was sub 100 after the hit, so I don't think Lancelot can complain too much, but we still really needed that stock right there because Oryon has kept the momentum going completely from game 2. It's like the game never ended.
Yeah, it was just an extension of game 2, as you said. Oryon getting the first stock in a really fast motion, not letting Lancelot breathe for a single moment. The fair's not gonna do it. Let's see if Lancelot's capable of getting it. And I think one of the main factors that's differentiating the gameplay between these two is like Oryon is just pressuring every time he can, and Lancelot is just keeping a little bit more of different, play styles right now. Of course, he needs to change something because his second stock is hole right now.
Yeah, in the past 2 games, Oryon has taken 5 stocks to Lancelot's 0. This is looking horrible for Lancelot right now. Even the backers are just not finding the sweet spot. I don't doubt that Lancelot is going to take a stock soon, right? But it's not going to count to a great deal, it feels. You have to truly reverse 3-stock without getting hit like at all at this point.
Wow, and the side piece, the beefy side piece by Oryon is like the 3rd time he's done it. Finally, the afro killing. We're not used to see any character survive at 200 against Roy, so the Astro definitely doing it. I think there was no way for him to escape that, and now Lancelot is starting to do something. Let's see if it's going to be enough, but every time Oryon is off stage, he mixes the recovery so well that Lancelot is incapable of getting a lot from the edge guard position.
But that jab to back air does not connect the sweet spot. Once again, Lancelot has had such poor luck with the back air. The Nair scraping through Wolf's forward smash, which almost certainly would have ended the game. This is still excellent from Lancelot to say, I maybe have 3 stocks down at one point, but I don't give up. I need to win this set, and even if I drop this game, I want information, I want the momentum, I want to believe in myself, and is absolutely doing everything in his power to stay competitive here.
Yeah, there's a stock of difference, but it looks way closer than a previous game. Oryon was all over the place. Now Lancelot is starting to fire back, and that's good news for the Finnish player who is finally seeking the light at the end of the tunnel. Oryon is again with a huge lead, but it doesn't look as the game before.
Yeah, still no sweet spot though on the Nair. It's almost like I feel like I'm watching a Chrom player right now. It's just suddenly switching off to Roy. We know that Lancelot's Roy is incredibly practiced and he will hit those sweet spots as and when required, but it's just had poor luck with it in these past 2 games. Back air, I think that was sweet spot, but still not making it across. The up throw's gonna kill again, Dras!
I don't know what's happening with this matchup. watch out because Lance can do it. That can do it. 42% already on Oryon, the French player.
Hold on!
By Lancelot is putting Oryon in a really bad spot, 67% already, and Lancelot can do it. I don't think they could do it.
Oh, that is gonna be it! Jab to back air. You know what, Dras? In 2 games, we've seen basically three stocks, right? Sure, Oryon could not finish the job in game 3, but it felt like we saw game 2, a pure 3 stock from Oryon on Lancelot. Then game 3, we were getting it again. Then he stopped, and Lancelot got a 3 stock of his own. And the momentum from Lancelot was crazy there.
Yeah, game 2 lasted a game and a half for Oryon. Basically, Oryon was doing everything right until Lancelot saw a spark of hope, and that spark of hope, he just clinged onto it, and was enough for him to get the 3-stock comeback on Oryon. Oryon seemed untouchable until Lancelot got his first stock, and then it was all over, run all over by the Finnish player. The Finnish player came away from an upset.
Now that unstoppable feeling, I totally get it, because Oryon was doing Wolf Flash back to ledge or above ledge aggressively so often, and usually Wolves can't afford to do that too much, right? They might get countered, they might get parried, or they might just get shielded and punished afterwards, but Oryon got away with about 6 of them. It truly felt like there was no way to go and attack him. But Lancelot, all of a sudden, the up throw was the trick, found his way in, and never got hit again.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a little bit of overconfidence by the French player, but definitely Lancelot saw an entry back to the game. He took it, and he just managed to get the clutch comeback, 3-stock comeback. That's not easy to do against a normal player, but against such a strong player as Oryon, that's a huge boost for your own mental.
But can Lancelot win one more game and take the small seeding upset to move further into winner's bracket, or will Oryon manage to pull it back? It's your turn for a comeback. They've both been taking turns to just destroy each other. It definitely has to be Oryon now if he wants to stay in this winner's bracket.
Let's see, because already in a string, Oryon has put Lancelot at 60% already, but right now is the Finnish player fighting back.
Oh, no, but the wall jumped.
No, the jump in Oryon. That's a heartbreaker for Oryon. He barely could have made it, and now the French player is fighting against all odds.
Yeah, that is the last thing you can ask for when you are trying to make a momentum-based comeback. And now just throwing out options from the platform, absolutely desperate to find anything. But at the end of the day, Oryon is not that far behind. If you take this stock, it's even. Back throw is not going to do it just yet. But we are getting to the point where Wolf can kill with about half his toolkit at this point. With a parry, no follow-up.
Let's see, because Oryon is struggling. I was gonna say he was struggling to get the kill, but he finally managed to do so. As you said, it looked really desperate situation for the French player. But after that, unfortunately, he managed to just get back into the game with a beautiful stock. Again, the beefy up B not being cut by Lancelot. I think it's been like the 5th time he's gotten hit by it, and right now it's looking like an even game, Tail.
Yeah, and I completely respect the use of all these beefy attacks, because it's almost like, if you do it so much, you're going to make Lancelot want to counter eventually. And when Roy starts countering, that's usually when you see them get blown up. So, jumps away to absolute get the snap to ledge with Blazer from as far away as possible. This is such good knowledge of the game coming up from both players who are even Stevens right now, Dras.
Yeah.
Oh no, the dash attack. Were you trying to do a running forward tilt? I'm not sure, but into the shield went Oryon. Another wall jump into...
What?
Wolf Flash bouncing off the side is Lancelot. Incredible kill from Oryon, and now this is looking like potentially a 2-2 unless Lancelot can pull us another comeback.
Yeah, and right now Lancelot is the one who needs to get the stock as fast as possible to even out this game. The neutral B not gonna be enough. He needs to find an opening. Anything would kill as well as he did before for Oryon. He needs to find only one strong hit would do it, especially on this stage from the side. But it is Oryon who's getting the hits, and this is not good news for the Finnish players. 70%. Side B there, and this is gonna be it.
Wow! How often do you see the middle hit of Wolf Flash used to combo? I don't think Oryon was necessarily keeping that in mind, but well, maybe he was. He could simply be on the ethereal plane right now. Amazing use of Wolf Flash to set up that back air off the side of the stage. It is 2-2, and the next game will guaranteed decide a winner between Lancelot and Oryon, who have given us one of the most entertaining sets of the whole weekend.
What an edge guard by the French player, staying forever off stage, making use of all the tools, as you said, the weak hit from the neck, connecting into another one. And Lancelot, of course, Roy's recovery is not the best, as we said before. So it's really linear. You know what Roy is going to do. Oryon was just on the right place at the right time, and he did what he was needed to win game 4. It is game 5. It's small battlefield taste.
Yeah, back to the familiar grounds, and Blast is going to put Oryon into a slight lead right now, but it almost feels like the first 50% or so doesn't matter right now. It's just the kill almost comes at random. But there is a down throw to start things up for Lancelot with the Nares. This is good platform chasing, and there is that first 50% for both.
Yeah, it seems like the chase never stopped, be it one or be it the other. Down smash! No, what a strong Cloud Wolf we have here. The down smash seem like it doesn't kill, but you know, it's a deceptive attack, as you get hit by it on the center stage and you think you're okay, but you're really not okay. We just saw Roy, which is not the lightest of characters, die at a really...
Yeah, you've just got to put it in the past at this point and say, I either win now or it's never going to happen. So forget about it. Don't worry. Just get in there and attack. But Oryon has just kept the attacks coming even more so. Not slowing down for anyone. A full stock lead now from Oryon.
Yeah, he needs to be careful, but his stock will be gone with anything at this point. Lancelot needs it. Oryon needs to get a little bit more percentage, or potentially the stock. Both of them are kill percents already. A backer of any of the two would do it. And right now, Oryon has paced a little bit slower, just waiting for Roy to approach. If you're on the lead, most of the times you don't need to approach. So he's just waiting for Lancelot's tools, and they're basically dancing around each other right now.
They have picked their platform to sit underneath, and they are barely moving away from it. They're going in, throwing hits, but just without the run off neutral air is going to kill from Oryon and makes it back to the stage as well, because there was no one left to hit him. This is a 3-stock lead, but Dras, we have seen this situation before.
Yeah, and this is a start for Lancelot. Had he gotten the backer, would have been enough for him to get the stock, but right now Oryon is just not letting him get the hits, and he's just playing patiently. Perfect pivot grab to put Lancelot in a really bad spot. The down smash barely hitting. And right now, Lancelot is in deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, we basically have to say, are we going to get a game 2, a 3-stock, or are we going to get a game 3, a reverse 3-stock? Well, we can't have a game 2 anymore. Does that mean Lancelot is going to take the next 3, or will we invent a new pattern where Oryon will hold it down and conclude game 5 in a win? For now, you cannot count Lancelot out until the very last moment, but sitting with your back at ledge, you know what Oryon wants from that neutral get up. It's going to be a back throw, and it's going to be a gift. Tries the F-tilt, doesn't quite find it, but Lancelot is getting in an even worse position right now.
150%, that's going to be it. Oryon finishing it with style. I don't think he needed that. I think Lancelot was already gone with that game. Definitely not going to be happy about the performance of the Finnish player. That last game looked a little bit of a wash for the French player, and Lancelot will have to fight his way through losers now.
But what an amazing set that was. That was exciting from start to finish. I truly could barely keep up with the pace of that one. Oryon living up to the seeding and will move on. I think there's a mighty foe in his path now as well. If I have a quick check, yes, Space is going to be on.